Hi everyone and welcome to my channel called Zuzanareacts, where I learn all things Bharat with your help, and I just share my Slovak Central European point of view. Now, in today's video, we're going to look at a challenge from China on Chandrayaan-3. You know, you guys have been like a huge supporter of Chandrayaan-3. We've done a couple of lives. So I'm just curious to know, what is this little, I don't know, thing going on from China? But before we get into the video,
please like this video and click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification. Thank you so much for your support.
Right, let's look at this together.
So China's cabinet is looking a bit shaky, but their propaganda machine seems absolutely fine. Their latest target is India's moon landing. Last month, Chandrayaan-3 of India landed on the lunar South Pole. We saw it. You saw it. Chances are the whole world saw it.
Together.
But China says, not so fast. A top Chinese scientist is disputing India's claim. His name is Ouyang Ziwan. He's considered to be the father of China's lunar program. So he's one of the best that they have. And what is he saying? That India did not land on the South Pole. In fact, let me quote his statement. The landing site of Chandrayaan-3 is not at the lunar South Pole, not in the lunar South Pole region, nor is it near the lunar South Pole region. Okay. Then where is it? Now this could get complicated. So listen closely. Like the Earth, the moon also has latitudes. These are imaginary horizontal lines that run across the surface. These lines help in marking locations. The equator, for example, is a latitude. It represents 0 degrees. The equator is 0 degrees. Up north and south, you have the poles. These are 90 degrees. Now let's apply this to the moon as well. Where did India's Chandrayaan land? At 69 degrees south latitude. The Chinese scientist says this is not the South Pole region. Then what is? According to him, the polar region is much narrower, between 88.5 and 90 degrees. So that's further south. Mm-hmm. Now, does this argument make sense? Well, it's a highly technical argument, also a political one. Did any other space agency talk about this latitude stuff? They did not. The NASA chief said India landed on the lunar South Pole. So did the European Space Agency. Then why is China playing spoilsport? Here on Earth, 69 degrees is considered as polar region. But on the moon, it's different. Why is that? Because the Earth is more tilted than the moon. So the polar region is narrow. At least that's what the Chinese scientist says. Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's all very technical. But the fact is, India landed where no other country did, near the South Pole, and China's disagreement is not scientific, it is political. India hit the target first. So now China is shifting the goalpost. It's pretty childish, to be honest. But then again, it's classic China. We told you about their racist meltdown yesterday. Made in India iPhones made the Chinese insecure. So you can imagine what the moon landing did to them. With Chandrayaan-3, India had 3 active spacecraft around the moon. The propulsion module, the lander, and the orbiter from Chandrayaan-2. The second Chandrayaan mission failed, but the orbiter is still working. Compare that to China, they have just 1 active spacecraft around the moon. Beijing would not have liked that. Equally important was the timing. Chandrayaan-3 landed during the BRICS summit. Prime Minister Modi and President Xi were in Johannesburg. Everyone rushed to congratulate Prime Minister Modi. The South African president apparently wanted to sit next to him. Xi Jinping would not have liked that. China's state media betrayed that insecurity. Just look at their commentary on India's moon landing. This is what they're saying. China is far more advanced in various aspects. China's lunar rover is much bigger, weighing 140 kilograms compared to India's 26 kilograms. Additionally, India's Pragyan cannot withstand the lunar nights. By contrast, China's rover holds the record for working the longest time on the lunar surface. How about that? Your neighbor has just landed on the moon's South Pole, the first country to do so. And what does China's state media do? Release an article on why China is better. So this latest claim by China's top scientist is not surprising. If anything, it's a bit late. India never tried to hide its landing location. ISRO always said around 70 degrees south. And that's where it landed. My point is, differing perceptions cannot take away from India's achievement. The world has accepted it. So our advice to China would be this: your scientists are so keen on latitudes and locations on the moon. Maybe use that skill on Earth too, not to disparage other countries, but to find your missing ministers and to respect the boundaries of your neighbors.
I love this lady. She's very much on the point. She called out a couple of things that I was thinking as I was watching at it. Like, it just feels like this little kind of media bitch fest. Like, mine is bigger than yours. And she's like, seriously, can we not just celebrate one another? But maybe, obviously, I don't really know, and I haven't yet explored, and I think that it's what I need to do potentially next, your relationship with China. I think some knowledge, but very limited. Since China has been so advanced for so long, it's perhaps obviously now feels threatened. And she also mentioned made in India, and like a lot of European or American companies are going to be moving their production to India. It poses a threat for them. So they need to do a little dig. But I completely agree. Like, I mean, it's been over a month since this has happened. Like, why now? What is the point right now? Maybe, you guys, there's something happening between India and China right now that I'm unaware of. But it feels like, their media, because I'm sure that ordinary people could not care less. They're just seeing something that they feel like they need to maybe divert their attention, or, feel like maybe because if the article is saying like China is superior, maybe it actually is speaking to their economical power or whatever, for Western countries not to consider moving their production to India. Who knows what the agenda behind all of this is? But it's kind of ridiculous nonetheless. Like, if, let's say, majority of countries agree that the poll parameters are certain, and then China just decides, well, do you know what, actually they're much narrower, and you know what, for the sake of the argument, they might as well be. So what? The whole world is right now approving of the fact, and as she mentioned, the big agency congratulated, said it was an achievement. I don't understand. Like, maybe they want to support a narrative of the ones that don't believe that India has landed on the moon, because of obvious. Even in my surrounding, I've heard that, but I think that their reasons for that were different, and people that, like, common people that said that they don't believe it. It's simply because they have working experience with Indians, and based on their personal experience, which I think it's quite a silly argument considering how big India is, as like they don't believe they're capable of achieving that just from, a couple of years working with them. But India is just so big. So, very interesting one. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this, like where you stand on the issue. Is there something that's actually happening between China and India right now that this had to be brought up to light? Because usually smear campaigns happen when people want to divert attention from something else. So let me know in the comments below. And I think this will be it for today's video. If you did like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, please do take care. Sending much love. Bye-bye.